Hello everyone, my name's Lost, and today we are going to introduce a feature of Gamemaker that in my opinion is underused by beginners, which will easily allow us to assign a damage effect to both the player and the towers and the minions and all that sort of stuff, and we're going to deal with death today as well. And by the end of the episode, if you've followed along so far, on screen is what you'll end up with. So first things first, let's kick this off with introducing timelines. This is the feature I mentioned a minute ago. Create a new timeline. We're going to call this TL damage effects. So first of all you need to press add. Now this will add a new moment is what we're going to call it. And in this moment we're going to set image blend to red. So that means when we call this timeline, the first thing we'll do is it will set the character or whatever sprite to red. Okay? And then we'll add, we'll change the description, we'll just say what we're doing. So we'll say flash red. Then we must add another moment, and in this one we're going to say image blend see white. Now see white, all that it does is it sets the sprite back to normal. It doesn't flash white. But as far as I know, you can't do that. At least I don't think that you can. But that will just set it back to the normal colour, and we'll just say what did I? Can't remember what I wrote. Normal. Okay, there you go. Now change the moment, because this is in steps, right? This is in steps. A step is sort of each tick of your game, if you like. This is how I sort of think about it. A step runs every frame of the game, right? That's the step event, pretty much, right? Every step is constantly running throughout the game. So that's sort of 20 ticks. After it's flash red, 20 ticks after it goes back to normal. That's probably how I would think about it. If anyone has a better way of describing that, feel free to let me know in the description. Next thing, we need to open up Tower Projectile, and this is how we're going to get the player to flash. We're going to do it through the use of the projectile. And we're going to, in our collision event with the player, which is my target, or will be a minion or whatever, obviously just the player for now, we need to say with my target. So let's control the target. Now let's start the timeline. So timeline index, and then you just specify the timeline that you want to start. You say position, start it at 0, so that's the very first point, and then timeline run. Running equals true, and then you set that to true. And then you don't have to worry about setting it to false, because after it's done it, it sets to false automatically, I believe. At least I've experienced no problems with it so far, so I can only imagine that's true. We're going to have to copy this because we're going to use this exact same code again. And we're going to make the warrior, when it's attacking the tower, make it flash. No, we want to be in animation end. Lost. Come on. There we go. And yeah, just expand this bit. Copy and paste that here, and it will do the job just fine. And there we go. Let's test it. And there we go. That's pretty effective. I quite like the look of that. And also, shortly, I'm going to improve the tower because I've made a different one. And good stuff. It would appear that I do that now. So you'll find this in the description below. Just download that as usual, or make your own. Just whatever you want to do is totally okay. And I've created a little crappy animation here as well. But we'll deal with that in a minute. So let's just center the sprite at the bottom. Not at the bottom of the shadow bar, just at the bottom of the tower itself. Yeah, that should do the trick. And there we go. So the origin, 184 by, I think that was 247. So let's just have a look and see what it looks like at the moment. So as you can see, the health bar is now too far away. That's because the image size has changed. Now the health bar looks way too far away, so we're going to fix that. So let's go into the health bar, into the draw event. And I think I have a little play around in here to try and find the right stuff. So I'm going to skip ahead until I get the right numbers here. And there we go. I believe we settle with this. And I think that looks pretty good. I think that's correct. Okay. Apparently, okay, no I don't. What else am I doing? Oh yeah, I think I'm trying to stop it from going out off the top of the screen. I think that's what I'm doing. Did it work? Yeah, easy. Alright, smashing. So there we go. And now that's the health bar for the towers fixed. Now it's time to add in the animation for the tower dying. But first let's create a group called tower. I'm just going to put that near the top, and I'm going to put the tower inside, obviously. And now let's create a new sprite. We're going to call it Sprite Tower Death. Just like that. And then, again, I said it before, but I'll say it again. You'll find this in the description below. Now let's just match the other tower's origin. Don't remember what that was. 184 by 247. And because my memory's terrible, I look again. Because why not? And yeah, we need to make sure that the collision mask is very similar. And make sure that's 60. Also, I forgot to do the collision mask there. But I think I go back and do it soon. Because I come up with a bug that when the tower falls, and it falls on top of a player, then you just can't move. So we fix that shortly. But yeah, we need to specify the animation in here. So let's call it anim death. And then just link it to the death sprite. Right then, so in the step event, let's check for the death. So we'll say if sprite index is not anim death, and if HP is less than or equal to 0, then we're going to change it to anim death. Now, the reason I've said if sprite index is not anim death first, the reason I've done that is simple optimization, right? So, for example, if you just get remove if sprite index is not anim death, and you just say if HP is less than or equal to 0, what will happen is while it's then changed to the anim death sprite, because all it's looking for is the HP value, because it keeps finding that it's below 0, it will keep running the code inside this. You see what I'm saying? So it'll keep finding the HP 0, and then it'll keep running this code. But if you then specify first, if sprite index is not anim death, when it becomes anim death, it no longer runs the code, and it'll just do it the once. So that's why I've done that. So yeah, and then we'll say image index, make it start at the very start of the, it would anyway, but whatever. Anim speed, I've just gone with 0.4 because that seems to be the sweet spot for this project. And then we need to say animation end. So this will deal with after death. And we'll just say if sprite index is the anim death, that should be equals lost, you noob. Do I fix it? Please tell me I fix it. Anyway, we'll just destroy the instance. And we're going to create another object in a second. You will do that first. We're just going to create an object in its place, and we'll call it, if I can type. Yeah, so we create object tower dead. Okay, that's a very creative name, Lost. Well done. Yeah, and this is just going to be so that because the tower itself has loads of code in it, we're just going to kill that off, delete the object, and then respawn, or not respawn, sorry, but put in object tower dead in its place, just so that this is going to have no code in it at all. And yeah, link it to the tower death sprite. And when it creates, we just need to run a piece of code here. And we'll just call it creation, that's fine. And yeah, image speed, set it to 0 so that no animation happens. Image index is image number, which is the final number. And so it will start at the very, I think you have to say -1. You have to say -1 because the image number will say how many numbers, how many sub-images are in the image, but it doesn't start from 0, it starts from 1. Now, I've always said that I think it's stupid that it does that because image index starts from 0, but you know what? Whatever, it's fine. I guess it makes sense, right? So because image index starts from 0 and image number starts from 1, you have to -1. That's just one of those stupid things that you have to do. So let's see if this works. The tower will die, and then it should just respawn in its dead state with no code running at all. Now I'm going to speed this up because I've just realised we have an awful lot of health to get through there, and I've recorded the entire thing because I'm stupid. So I'm just going to speed up here, and I will be back in a second. I promise you I will not force you to sit through this entire thing. And we're almost there. Yes, I have watched this entire thing. I kind of feel contractually obliged at this point to watch all of it. And does it work? Please? Yeah, there we go. Except it don't work because now we can't move. Because the collision mask of the tower is massive. Which has now engulfed the player. Which was somewhat retarded on my part, so let's fix that. And surprisingly, watching this back, it took me a little while to figure this out, which is amazing. But yeah, you just make it that size. Yeah, that's fine. And that's job's a good one. In fact, just to be on the safe side, I decide to do it there. Do I? No, I don't. I'm just making stuff up now, apparently. There we go. Now, something I've noticed is that the projectile is shit and tends to hit the, or aim for the player's feet. I don't like that very much. I want it to hit the player's centre, if you like. I think that makes more sense. So, if you just put in the linear step, y minus sprite height divide 2, and then do the same down here in the point direction. No? Oh yeah, my target dot sprite height first, or else it's not going to work. Derp. I remember because I edited a bit out where I got this wrong, and like the projectile was like spazzing out real bad. So let's see if this works. And yeah, there we go. It's now hitting us further up than just the feet, which I thought was a bit stupid before. So now it's time to get the projectile animated. So let's just open this up. Again, you'll find this animation in the description below. It will all be in the same zip file. Just download that and you'll have it. And there we go. You just put it all in like this. And you don't really have to change much here, actually. I don't think anything. I think we... yeah, no, I start to fuck this up because I don't actually know what the hell I'm doing at this point. For some reason I've put that there like a moron, but yeah, there we go. Just put it back in place. And then the collision mask is in the right place as well. Stop touching it, Lost, it's fine. Stop, just leave it, there we go, that's fine. Right, so now just set image speed to 0.4. And let's test it out. And there we go, job's a good one. I think that looks fine. I might edit that. I don't know, I'm not going to promise that because I'm not sure I'm going to. I think it's okay for now, but maybe I'll change it up to look nicer. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to create object respawner. This is going to be for the player and the enemy hero, I guess, but just for the player for right now. And we'll deal with this in a minute. First of all, for some reason, I now arbitrarily decided to move the camera controls from the warrior to object control. I don't suppose it's that arbitrary, right? I think it kind of makes sense. But I kind of just did this on a whim. And also, I wouldn't blame you if you decide to change the camera controls to buttons, like keys, instead of the middle mouse button. Like, I wouldn't blame you. I think I'm going to change them soon, but I don't do it in this episode. I haven't actually done it yet. This is just future me speaking that I think it would make sense to change them. Yeah, I just create a step event to keep it separate. I think I call it camera controls. Do I? Yeah. And then just paste it in there. Although, again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just wanted to because I think it makes more sense for it to be in there. So, let's deal with the player's death and respawning. Now, disclaimer, it isn't going to stay like this. I've just got the basics working of player dies, you know, instance destroy, and then just after a certain time respawns next to the portal. Now, what I will do is I will set up a proper animation for this, but that will come in the next episode. I don't do it for this one. Mostly because I just didn't have time and I sort of couldn't be bothered, I'll be completely honest. But for the next episode, we'll have a nice little animation of maybe like a ghost shooting out the player. So let's look for death at all times. Let's say if HP is less than 0 or 0, then instance create, and we'll create the respawn object. Yeah, object, there we go. Right, so go into object respawner and add a create event. So I'm just going to call this creation, and we're going to say my owner is, so just set my owner to equal no one in here. And if we go to object warrior, we then need to say, we need to create it. So just set a quick variable here, say var respawn equals instance create, then just create object respawner on your X and Y. And then we'll take control of my respawn. So we'll say with my respawn, and then we'll just say my owner equals object warrior. Now this will change in the future. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a piece of code that links the object spawner to the actual object that died. This is just purely a test to make sure it works, but next episode we'll actually flesh this out so that it will work no matter what happens. So it will work no matter what character you are. This is purely just a test on my part to make sure it all works. And then we're going to say instance destroy, because that will destroy the player at this point. Now in object respawner, we need an alarm 0, and we'll just set this at 500. Just for now, we'll play with the balance with this, and we'll get like an actual timer on the screen, so that it will count down in seconds or whatever. That's something we will do. And yeah, just respawn. This is just going to recreate the player next to the object portal. Now, for some reason, I decided to check the code here and see where he started. What I should have just done was written something like object portal.x plus 50, you know, and then just had object.portal or object portal.y is what I should have done. Instead, I decided to be stupid and and do it this inefficient way. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It works. This is nothing but a test. This will change. This code is going to change. I just wanted to get the basics working, because obviously before we do the proper code, I want to like put the animations in and all sorts, and you know, I want to do that. And then we'll just, after it's create to play, it'll just destroy object respawn. So let's test out what we have, make sure that it looks okay. Oh, crash immediately. Oh yeah, this is because when I then copied and pasted the camera controls into object control, I didn't copy and paste the viewX variable into here, which was somewhat stupid. So hopefully we fix that here in the create event. Yeah, just copy and paste this, and we're just going to place it in object control. And yeah, we'll just put it anywhere, doesn't matter. Yeah, there we go. So now it should work. No, what's wrong now? Oh, so when we're trying to draw the background sprites, we're checking for if object warrior.viewX. We just need to change it to viewX, because we no longer need to check we no longer need to check object warrior. We just need to check viewX because it's now in the current object. So there we go. Good stuff. And yeah, there we are. And now I do believe everything. So let's have a quick look now, because I believe everything works. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, let's just see if the respawn works. Spoiler, it works. And yeah, there we go. Oh, spoiler, apparently it doesn't work. I told you there would be some amount of depth in this series. I think you know what you've sort of signed up for at this point. So what on earth has happened there? Oh, because in Tower Projectile, it's obviously trying to attack us again and we no longer exist. So we need to just say in here, if instance exists, my target, and then put all of that in there. Now it should work. Now it should work. Else, if it doesn't exist, just destroy. Wow, that was a nice little fail there. So let's see if this works. Spoiler, now it works. Okay, well apparently I've just lied to you twice. It still doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I have no idea. What's happened? Oh! That's why. Direction, it's trying to set my target here. My target no longer exists. Wow. Okay, so just again, we just have to say if instance exists, my target. I promise you I do know what I'm doing. I do kind of know what I'm doing. I promise, right? So now, spoiler. Spoiler, ladies and gentlemen. Now it works. And does it work? Does it? Please? Please work. And yeah, there we go. Smashing, right? That worked. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Oh, and please, it helps me out a lot. If you like this video, please do like it and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.